Good morning, everyone. I hope everyone is doing great and had a great time doing the activities that we had discussed in the morning, well, India's morning. So I'm just going to show, this will be the answer for the first question that you had for the activity, which was converting from acceleration versus time to velocity versus time.
아니 참아 트스텔레스 아니 시즈 쇼파 다 티치체 버와 셰구치 트버와 테 야포총요레와 예스 아니 데 단다 텐샤주 데 체츠 드브샤주 그토 담포데게 아니 렌티레 스타테 체츠 테르도와 인연난타 아니 티스게 라 트샤주게 트르데 아니 nga sutela jurgo do jojago do te jurchi nirchetan tsuge thurila zogo do otte zo shajoge lente deres tambotegile.
And the second question that I gave you was this. So the answer for converting from position versus time or distance versus time to velocity versus time graph is this.
Da tege je delaya ane toan ipa terwa te kapse chetsula distance yana lanta janta da tsu ge nicha dreve gi thurji tshajete ani nirse da tsu da de ji thirla pa juja chwarwa tichi shayures te ge thirite deres.
Perfect. So I'm not going to go in the detail for this. I'm going to switch to the talks that I'm going to teach today. So I will stop sharing this one. If anyone wants to have these answers, or please let me know or Pasang know.
Tanda ne de metut traju de shijagmes tanda nga so tirang lamzen chigwa kare imbate kala drogi yan sen ke de chetsula yan de tanda ke land de khunyi tena do yo bai bai na nga ta yan na pasang la ne la ro che sen te khuchu che was.
Okay, so today what we will do is, what we have learned so far is acceleration, velocity, distance, displacement. So we have dealt with this formula, V equals to D over T, distance over time, which is usually under the constant velocity part. Now we will focus on constant acceleration, and these are the equations that we use if a problem or something is given at constant acceleration.
Da tanda nga so tanda pata nga so ge ti ka so ta nyutse tang nyenen tang te ge lam tha tang ti che tang tene ro ko la nga so ati ka so gre nyam chi ma pu chi ku chi yo res ta ti na ne nga so chi thama ma pu chi pe che tang ya de nyutse te ka so re sana vi ti 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 go ko ro nyutse te ka re jan tha te ti chu ge ba da chong ge yo ba nga so ge thama ma pu pe che tang le ta na nga so thong ba res ta de ka re sana ane nyutse tempo yo pa ge ne tang kapsa ane pe che tang ya de na res. Tanga su tire nga su kare pecho tangin se na nyurno tempo yo pa ke ti nyurno tempo yo pa imbai na nga su kare kare si ja yo re se ti kola moto chayins.
So I just want to let you know here, V, I'm taking it as final velocity, VI as initial velocity, A is acceleration, T is time, and D is displacement or distance.
Da tanda de ge nyamtsin de tang na la yo pi vi se ti kare se na nga su nyutse tama ge nyutse ti che VI yo se ti thomi ge nyutse ti che A se ti ane nyurno che T se ti tu che che ane ti ge D se ti yang chine ko ne po che yang na chen da chi la ya jang se ta yang na jang thla ko yo res.
So now we know what is constant velocity. That means same speed and same direction, right? But now what is constant acceleration?
Da nga su ge ti bai na nyutse tembu se be kapsa nga su ge kare ha ku yo re se na ko la trip cha ni tang dan ba wa tu cha tang bu ti ge kapsa jokse tembu yin ba ta ane shen da te la ya khashro ya tembu yin ba ji la ku bu yo ro ana ta nga su te la ya nyurna tembu se chi to ba sin de kapsa kare ro chi la ku bu yo ro is.
So what it means is constant acceleration. We can know from the definition that the acceleration is constant. Now, acceleration is change in velocity. So how can we have constant acceleration? It's the velocity changes, increases or decreases at a uniform or constant rate.
Ta nga su zhuo chi tang ba yin ba na de la nga su ge ya nyurna tembu se ge de shas. ine nga su kutan la taba imba na nyuna se ti nyutsegin jura was ta jura chu yo pati ya de la ya nyuno tempo kanta do chi chag yo na sa chi dus ta din tamban de go kanta slang go se na tang yu bu chi ki yana du chi ki ko ge nyutsegin jura do se chi go wa nyutsegin do se tempo ta nyutsegin jura do se te ta nyutse te ko jinjuan nyuno te jinjuan do yo na de kre nyutse te jinjuan do yo na de kre jinte do yo pa na jura do se te ne chanyon bu yo pa wa otina da uchile ko yo res.
So I said, like I was just mentioning that its velocity is changing at a uniform rate. So velocity can increase at a uniform or constant rate. That thing will be called constant acceleration. And when velocity decreases at a constant rate, it's called constant deceleration. It's retardation. And always make sure that constant and uniform, it's the same thing.
Ta tanda de kapse nga so ge nyulsen juan rugo yo pa kanslen juan rutse tempo yo pa ran juan rutse chi chung ga ne juan rugo yo pa na de kapse nga so ge ani nyunan tempo se go res ta nyunan tempo se de la ya ke ting yo bo chi ke nyunan karsu ta nyulse jinjo ru ya ti su ro ta jinjo ru ya ge rutse ti tempo ba kansle ke ting jod rugo yo pa na de la nga so ge nyunan tempo se res ani ke te ko chan yombo gane jite la dugo yo paina nila nga tsugi nyetre tempo segdes.
So all the freely falling objects, like how Oscar yesterday was dropping a ball. So this is an example, like, where we have constant acceleration, because remember we took g equals to 10 all the time. So freely falling objects accelerating due to influence of gravity. It's a good example of constant acceleration.
Ta pichi shabayina nga tsuga rang hong se na ta shujin shenda chiga me pa che sukula tenshi rang la tembi ki chala chiga ma hong bayina rang hong yubo te ane ko tesi kores karsu kore ta tembu ki ta nyunan tembu li tugu yo pala kwa lang kores picha shena kesa nga su Oscar ki pulu chiga ri gana ma ko yu go chiyo a te tabi kapsi bayina te kapsi nga tsuga nyunan te kesa chu nyunan ki tse te chu do chu yinbi wang tang chi tsi jayan ba te tambal chu ta jiro me pa tembu yinba la
So I have talked a lot about velocity changing at a constant rate. So let's see example. We will do example for velocity changing, like velocity increasing at a constant rate, and then velocity decreasing. And then I will just show you the graph for that.
Hanta tanda kapsa nga su karsu ta nyurse ti nyuran duya te ko tembo gane chinjuan duya ta chita ki duya gang la ya desheja yores ta tanda yamba nga su kare chigi yin sena nyurse te ani chi karsu tembo ta chinjuan duya ta ya na tembo gane chita duya ki pitsun ni sha ni ti gang la ya ani thiri yang tembe gane tanda de mutra chi yins.
So let's take the example. A particle has a velocity of 4 meter per second initially at time t equals to 0. So it's given at the start, the initial velocity is 4 meter per second and has a constant acceleration of 2 meter per second square. I'm going to calculate the velocity at 1 second, 2 second, 3 second, so on.
Ta tanda dina drawa pichung ka drawa chigore ta tika resne ke te du chigwa ko thuma ta ti le ko imbe kapsu ko nyutse ka so kan la du gore sena nyutse ani culture re na la ya meter shi re do per meter per second o te du gore sra ani te ki je la ya ko ge du yo ba kan shi la ko ge nyunan te ka so re sena ni culture ga ranju ta na te le te meter ni re do nyunan de ro this tambala ya tanda nga tsuga tsijaga de kari tsijaga yinsena ne kacha re la hes tambala ya kuga nirso katso imba de tsijaga yins.
So I am using the first equation of motion, which is V equals to VI plus AT. They can see my whiteboard, right?
Yes.
Perfect.
Oda ishe suga. Gela ke karpanga tujute tungode. Tana lapa chada. Yes, they can see.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. So this velocity initial is given. What is initial velocity? 4 meter per second at time equals to 0 second, right? So now, yeah, you can
hata ti chichu kacha la kore mi kapsir wa ta thome gi nyursete ka sores na thome gi nyursete ne kacha re na meter shiri du yores.
So now let's calculate using this. Can you calculate the velocity the velocity at time 1 second, at time 2 second, and at time 3 second? Initial velocity is given and acceleration is given to be 2 meter per second square. Final velocity for all this time.
Hata danda nga su le go teate ka teores na thome gi nyursete kacha re na meter shiri du wa che ane tigi nyunante ka sir na kacha ranju tong la meter ni du yo ba tere do. That is tambale che su ge gang la te sha ju ge nyamchi ti peche tang de te ane chu kacha shi tang kacha ni kacha san ti bi kapsu thami gi nyurse ka so ba tsu jat ke do es.
I think they're seeing the glare, right? I'm going to turn off my lights. Okay. Is that better now?
Yeah, it's better.
Yeah, okay, perfect. So they have to work out the example, like calculate the final velocity using this equation.
Ta gang la ya nyamchi chi te sha do wa o ti peche tang de ta thami gi nyurse ka so ba te tsu ja ro chi is.
So table 4 got 8 meter per second, 1 got 6 meter per second.
For t at t equals to 1 second,
T is equal to 1 second, Darwa. T is equal to 1 second. So one got 8 meter per second, another one got 6 meter per second.
I think we
So-
got 0.
So there is a table 2, we got 0.
Okay, so I think the winner is 6 meter per second, table 2. So I'm going to explain you how we can do that. I will use
think
this
equal 1.
equation. What is VI?
That's too like go in there. 2 di tada resa. Can just ligi me gela tungi insa.
Yes.
Okay. So VI is 4. I'm just going to put the equations here. The number 4 plus A is given to be 2 meter multiplied by time is 1 second in this situation. We all know board mass. Like first we have to solve this part in the brackets and then we are going to add, right?
Hata tanda di kapsa nga su gangi menga ti peche tanga zisha gi yinsi ganga menga ti kari sesha yore se na tami gi nyurse ti tomi nyurse gang la ya ani nyurnam ti chuso gi jur chi dan batang songo yore se gore se ta tanda di kapsa nga su shaja kugu ti gang tila peche tanga bayi bayi na ani tomi gi nyurse ti shi che rwa nyurnam ti nyi che tanda di kapsa chuso ti karsha shi rwa ti sha bayi na nyi tang shi ti nga su ge kutang na tila sha bati nga ma and so chichina shigo chirista board mass b said the bracket ro bracket na na kutang na yo pede thomas go yores and ni tichila jerpa ni che ni ga she dona tucha yores.
So we always follow this rule. B is bracket, O is usually orders. We are going to ignore for now. And then comes division, multiplication, addition, and subtraction. So the first thing, it goes in this order. So first is we are solving this bracket and whatever we get, and then we just add it. Always follow this rule.
Ta gala chi board mass tre do ti kapse nga su kari chong gore sne b said the bracket ku ta chirwa ta pangran ansi gi ta chi sma bo yo pa ne ti ta yo pa na tangpo ti ku panan to stu gore swa tangpo ti ani kutang na kari yo pa ti ti gi chela ya ani order said ti tanda shagin chir go orders na top ti ku yo ro ne ti gi chela ya nga su ge d said ti division chi go ta che and M said multiplication chi juta che tigi jela ya addition chi non chi che ni tigi la tan tsu gore so ti na shin gang la sheba na shin ta nga su tang pu ku tang la ge te ni ti chi la ju chi ni te jela ya ni shi gang la ni dong bares.
So now I want you to calculate following this. Just calculate for 2 seconds and 3 seconds.
Ha da gang ge ta da ge la zi ji bi chen chi sha song o ti shi sha de de ta da ka sha ni tang ka sha sang ge ka sa ani ni che ka chen ba ti ani che zu si ja ro chi.
tempo invasonda karesh chanyom nyurse invasonda il gurba chem ela imba ine duju gi gurbal paweki yurnu na gurba tada duju ngeje na yurnu gi parte shto di tata tata karsa karsa nyel khala to la mena
Nipa the gay 8 meter per second.
Okay. So everyone is getting 8 meter per second.
Yeah.
Perfect. And then the 3 second one.
Yeah, they are
Third
getting
one is
10, yeah.
10 meter per second.
Yes. So now, do you see the velocity is changing at a constant rate? This is constant acceleration when the velocity, in this case, it's decreasing or increasing. First answer is this, then 6, then 8, then 10.
tanda di kapsin bana nitandila nga tsuge ata nyurnon se go wa di kapsin nga tsu nyurse ge jiro ro tanti ko jiran roseti ta chanyumbu gani tembu gani jiran rosa ko ta jiran roseti chanyumbu yo des chipares wa jiran roseti chisong gana jiran ro res ta tanda du sta bai bai na nga tsuge re la ta bai bai na ani di ge kapsiro wa nga tsula ya nyurse ge jiran ro ya di chinjugan ro de chidela ro dus increasing. Become
Yes.
faster.
Yes, so velocity is increasing at a uniform rate. So from 4 to 6, 2 meter per second, every step it's increasing, right? So now I can just generalize this formula for any time. T second, I can just write. Every time, what are we changing? This is same, we are just changing the time. I can write right?
That and then the caption also the taba in binary she cooking you set it she need to j chutina do was that in Stambalaya cooking your second you run to Tante and you could chitsong gonna you run to was Tarwa. This Stambalaya Gangi did someone on Atsuge the Tomonto Yopa Karitongo do Sena she down. Need in set Tomonto Yoparadua, Tamatela and you run to your patich so get Kersha Katsuji Yopati Chapter do what in Stambalaya Atsuge. Keti ta ko thmongi menga ro ta tabdi chitri baina de kapsa ngaso chitsu tri bi kapsa ne thamigi university ka chore sna shi de ne ni te thela jurchi te ga shi ga dom sha ju tan song gore stati ka resne shi dom to ga ni te thela jura tan song gore university.
So now if I want to plot this data of V velocity versus time, I get something like what was our initial velocity was given at 0 second, it was 4. So at 0 second, it was 4. And then it's, my graph is, let's do this way. This is 2, 4, 6, 8. So at 0 second, it start with 4. At 1 second, it is 6. At 2 second, velocity is 8. I'm just showing you where it falls. And at 3 second, it's 10, which is not here. Let's say this is 10. If I join all the dot, it will be a straight line. So it can go on forever, how much we want to calculate. So this is velocity increasing at a constant rate.
Ta tanda de kapsa ro ngaso ge culture re ge kaps raju ge ngaso teach ra yorwa nyuse chira yorwa nyuse te ngaso thri gangla pa pa imba na ro culture lekor kaps ani thome nyuse te kapsa re sna shimba ni culture chin stambala ya nyuse te tuche ro ani sumi stambala ni stambala je sumi stambala ya culture re sna chucha ga do ga remare tin tambata tandang atsugi thiti kanza chi deba imbana thubai thujaba imbana ngasula karira garela na tangthira greswa ta gede ngasugi tamajan tsita kalsa sum pat tsal shabara tandarwa nisin shinga ti katsum gota katsu tseja baina tandagi tangthi dowa tangthi mithu to yara dugres ta tandandi kapsa ngasu dusta baina de kapsa ani nyurse tan titsegi thiri imbagashla nyurse ti ani ko tembu goni jinjo dugo patan yores.
Okay, so is everyone clear with this graph and how the velocity changes at a uniform rate? Increases in this case.
This caption is also nitse tembo nitse ti jinsong goni jinjo ro yu pa ge number chon bi zi ji gai dang dang da de la ye tri ga ten sha ju de che so ka se u cha song ye sa.
Yes
Yeah,
or
got
no?
you.
Yeah.
I have a questions, sort of philosophical questions.
Mhm.
Usually very difficult to describe because when time is 0, then the velocity is 4 meters per second, which is we usually considering time is equal 0 is nothing moving. So then how this come from the velocity 4 meters per second?
So this is what they are saying is it was, yes, I understand your question that at time equals to 0, where the particle is or the object is just standing. But this is the case, let's say the car comes to a stop, right? For just for microsecond, and then it starts moving again. I know what your question is, but this is just to explain how we can show, even if you don't consider this case or start with 1, you can do that as well, right? But you need some initial velocity. You need, it's, I don't think so you just need with t equals to 0. You can do it with other times as well.
Also, Dimple, also the time 0 is also relative, right? You can take it any time in the
Yes.
yeah.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like you can, it doesn't have to be 0 only. I just gave the example, right?
Sure.
You can take any time and try to plot and see if you get the right, that same equation. The main idea here is that velocity is changing constantly. So velocity is here, in this case, it's increasing. It can also decrease the same way.
Okay, so that means we can like considering to whenever we measure, although some car is moving, but the time 0 is maybe start to the what I measure the time, maybe that, right? Am I correct?
Sorry, what was your question?
So for example, correct me if I get wrong. I can considering there's a car is moving, right? Any velocities. But then somehow I want to measure, then I start to measure, that's the time 0 I can consider, right? Also.
You can, yes, because when you turn on your stopwatch,
Right.
you're walking and you turn on the stopwatch, right? So you're already walking. You turn on the stopwatch. So you remember yesterday I gave the example of Oscar throwing at time 0. It threw with something, so there was an initial velocity, right? So it's just for simplicity, we can consider, okay, at time 0, the particle or the car is just standing, but you're just moving and then you just stop, like you just gave the example, right? So
That the again like triage de shifting banana suge shifting the summer time banana tisu like capsule that chala ching banana gumete niwa chila ya summer tango yores even tanda pichunga capsule banana so tia like capsule neku tomig in your shi chasha songs that the Canada ching banana shifting as suge that trip gone summer time banana ne tisu like capsule gushutang me pachila summer tango yorwas the gela in banati nga suge chi tanda de kapse konen buzu konen bu ma se thomegi nyun se de nga suge da thomegi nyun da ani ka tso le ko se de nga suge samlu da tab diu chi tang bai ba na tso tinju ko gane she ko re chong tso le ko se de chong chen je pe kapse ni kange chi le shana ni ko res tanda de kapse nga suge ngi go de ani kar su da ko nyun ti chan yombo gane ta nyurse de chan yombo gane phag yo pa ta nyurse de chan yombo gane chag yo pa la samlu ta na ni ko res wa nit tela shisha de ta ke te ta chorong ga langkhor chi ji ku yo na re du yo pa na re ani chorong jiksha lang yo pa ba na re ta khare ba na chorong ga chiso le kor sa de ani chorong ga chi ta che ga ga chiso pe che ta chi go ro stop watch chi go ro te ka te bu chi yo pa te ka se chiso le kor la chi san de ko re te ka se mota chi na jikre na du de na de ko re chorong jiksha lang go pa na jiksha ji wi ka se ga ni ka ro chi ka se ba na te la ya samlatana dikores shenda chinga suge samluna tele picha shapaina kesanga suge bichunchi karisha yoresna Oscar ge pulu chiara namla UP ge kecha chisha yores namla UP kapsa khona chito leko kapsa thuma UP kapsa thuma khona ya nursechi yorwa odis tambala ya ani big ngasulata tab diu yunga cheterwa tab diu yunga cheter ani ko antina rochi moto chi yores dis tambala ya che suge chito leko kapsa Nursen dinda chigre sayate yang so kasbreta susu ge chenja pick up sa nik kanon chilaya lena dikore ta diko trai kro chirge che kasgo chso lekore sayate tisa tunjuk ni tang gane she pora ko ngiteng ge leko kapsu chiga me patina mares tisa tunjuk cherang ge sijak pick up sa kangi la shana dikores
Okay, so if everything is clear, let's move on to the next topic.
Sure.
Now I will, okay, so now I am going to show how velocity is decreasing. So far we have seen that the velocity increased at a constant rate. It's the same thing. Velocity, again, at t equals to 0, it's given velocity is 6 meter per second. You can even take the same values, 4 meter per second, as it was in our previous slide. So here, A is minus 2 meter per second square. So what does this tells you? There is a negative sign for acceleration.
Hada danda de kapsa nga su yang chi pesen chi la ta ge yin sro pesen chi la ta ge danda de kapsa yang ko du chi ko ge thomi ge ta du kapsa ro ta du shin kapsa nyetse kapsa res na karse chi na mi ti tu tu du yo res ta ti le pro kapsa ro chi le pro kapsa ta de kapsa ko la ya nyun no tempo chi yo res nyun no tempo te kapsa res na de la ya ni ba kapsa la dokma re do dokma ni yo res ta de kapsa ba na 윤농근 너놀라야 딱 못딱 세나리에 동막에 딱지도 갔어. 내가 가르친 거요레스.
So it's the same concept. We are going to use the first
얘는
equation.
도움이 나와라.
You need to stop sharing your screen.
Yes, I always forget that. I think someone already did it for me. Is it stopped?
Yes.
Perfect. Yeah. So this is the first equation of motion, and we are going to use the same equation. Now you already know how to do the calculations. Can you give me final velocity at time 1 second, 2 second, 3 seconds, so on?
아다 단다 지수 경기 맹아트 패셔 땅 데데와 건강 맹아트 패셔 땅 데데 아니 단다 제수게 담하기 뉴스 테스트 자로치다 스와 그렇지 지금 값을 타면 뉴스 값을 그렇지 아니 값을 그렇지 승부 값을 테스트 자로치다
minus 2 tad man ho e minus 2 the ko ta minus 2 the tad chen de pur ho sang ne de chi pa chi gen chi ta mo t di 1 ka de ba she ra ji ti t di 1 ko ba che zero ka be like minus 2 di guna gurda nanju chipa chipa gur di la minus sign minus 2 minus 2 the plus the minus the into the multiply sign I got it t the got it
If you want, you can even start with 0. If that is easier for you, you can even start with at t equals to 0. Let's start with 0. You can even practice like at home. If I start with 0, let's say I'm not giving you 6, it's just 0, then see if it will decrease or increase. In our previous example, you can even take, instead of 4, you can take 0 and do the calculations. You will see it will still increase. So that's the main point.
ta tanda de kapsin bannerwa di kapsin banner chesu nga su tsu ga ti tsu ti ka cha chi bi kapsa ji ga da tsu ja go wa chesu ge tsu ti ka cha le ko bi kapsa ya tanda tsna digre jila na la pena tsna digre tena shingi diga ngola tsu ja ju ti kapsin banner ya ka cha ti le ko bi kapsa tsu ja na digre nga su la ra ya de ani ka su re ta ko 뉴스티 tempo gani jot tua ta tet tua ti tem gres tem senga su thiri ga pa pa ina ya tang thi jira gres.
So let me know when you are done with all these calculations.
마한체수 데 지자가 데 차스나가 라로지스.
And make sure you follow board mass, and there is a negative sign there. So
그런데 그 지자 담바다 간라 보트 마슬라이스 도와 브레이크 구타다 또 스파르치 드레치와 어디지 페체타다 아니 현다단데 값은 가수가 뉴노 값은 디오로 가사 뉴노라야 티도와 동막이 다치도와 못다치도와 어디 템버 맞아 치치
two times 3 is 6.
Ngajo tangbo di dirishagin 4 meter per second dirishagin la. T tangbo di T1 la. 4 meter per second.
what they they say 4 for one t is 1 second.
What's the final velocity for that?
4 meter per second.
Yes. Is everyone getting 4 meter per second, or one group is getting different like than the others?
참마나 4 하고도 가라고도 사.
Good. So I hear 4 meter per second. How about at 2 seconds?
2 meter per second.
2 meter per second.
How about at 3 seconds?
0 meter
0
per
meter per
second.
Now, is everyone getting this?
Yes.
Everyone is okay, perfect. So now what do you see from 6 to 4, 4 to 2, 2 to 0? Is the velocity increasing or decreasing with time?
네 값은 배는 가서 담보 주기 되게질라 시디니 되게질라 레코르도 네 값은 가서 뉴런티 뉴세티 아니 조르고도 아테 두고도
B final 0 if you go to the T
Decreasing.
Yes. It is decreasing. Velocity is, and even if you calculate 4 second, 5 second, you will keep on saying it will move to the negative now.
No, it's what about the T4?
단도 메터드 제투가 걸쳐 시탄 걸쳐가 스바이마나 아니 단다가 수고 뉴런티 네 동미쇼다 그레스 단도 진용한 그레스 될 그레스.
What are they saying? I couldn't understand.
No, they're just discussing with themselves.
Okay.
Yes.
So there's still one group who is discussing.
Okay. I will let them discuss because these are the calculations they need to know how to do.
Minus 2 meter per second.
For 4 second?
Yeah.
Yes. And then for 5 second?
Minus 4 per meter per second.
Exactly. Is -2 greater than -4 or smaller than -4? Which one is greater?
Bigger. Two is bigger.
-2.
-2
-2 is
is,
bigger. Yes,
yes,
bigger than 4.
yes.
Yes.
-2 is greater as compared to -4 in the negative side, right? So you can
Yes.
see it went from 6, 4, 2, 0, -2, -4. So the graph will look something like, you know, if this is the velocity and this is the time, how will I draw this graph now? At t equals to 0, it was 6. Right? And then it became 4 in at 1 second, if you can see here. And then it became 2 meter per second. Then it became 0 at 3 second, which is here. Then it became -2 at 4, which is this. -2. And then -4 at 5 second. Oh, yeah. So somewhere here, if this is -6, -5 will be here. So it will be somewhere here.
No, it's 4.
Hmm?
It's -4.
Oh,
It
yeah,
should be
I'm
-4.
sorry. Yes, I'm sorry. Yes, it is -4. Thanks for correcting me. Yeah. So now, if I draw the straight line, it is just going down. So now you have seen velocity increases or decreases at a constant rate. Every time it's decreasing by 2 meter per second here, right? So this is,
Ta tanda di kapsa nga su taba imbai na rwa nga su ta tikji la chu karcha shi tang karcha tu la taba nga karcha nga la taba imbai na nga su go nyunan ti kasar do dogma ni ta dogma shi ri dwa ane di kapsa tangi chua chia ti kari di song sena dogma ni tang dogma shi ki kangi chua yo re ske je tis tambala ane mambu chika len ti dogma ni ti chua yo re chi chungi chana shi pa imbai na rwa ta nga su ge ti re tgaranja re ta tanda nga su ge 맞을래 덥던 가래 라바티 시샤 되던 거 저기 트리 지바 임바이나 다저 티레 값을 뜨그름 바로와 가차 지그 값을 시제 가차니 값을 니제 가차 숨가서 레코르제 가차 시그 값을 동만 니제 가차 nga 값을 동만 시차기로와 다 데이터 가지고게 랩사 간자게 차티 간자 트자바 임바나 가슬라야 장트치도 라그레스
okay, so now if we are clear on this, let's move on.
Temple,
Yeah.
it's like I would rather say it's always decreasing. Rather than that, I would say it's decreasing till 0 and then increasing in the negative direction, velocity.
Sorry.
The
How is it?
velocity is first decreasing. There is a decreasing and then increasing in the negative direction.
I don't think so. I mean, like,
It's the simple example is just throw the ball upward. It will come to a 0
oh,
velocity
okay,
and then
okay.
come back.
Yes,
So
okay.
it's like, so.
Yes, you can take it because it's in the negative, right? So yes, you can take that as well.
Yes,
Yes,
so that
yes,
concept
yes.
maybe they should play. Because when you
Yes.
said -4 is less than -2, it might give them a wrong information, I guess.
Okay, so can
confuse
you,
them.
yes, can you explain them? Because in the negative, it goes differently. Yes.
Yeah. Tanda ni kije TH to gelal kije TD dire. Tangi gokse di kam kaje thang kaje chi ni sombodu dodu zamba legol ma droswa. Di jela ani kaje shivol ledu zambala ani mota ni legidwa. Mota ni ani kaje ngawal ledu zamba mota shileswa. Ledu zamba dine ma lego gi jela ma yoede kharchi gorsna modi kharchi gorsna kogi kapjodu chungor. 당부들라 그 모델이야 모델에 폴리네르도 야 근데 갑자기 찍을 줘대나 타고 대루 두고라 간점진이 가고라 니네 가져 쓴벌라 가서도 잠발라 그 갑조 로가라 추 용거다 모디기 갑조 카가 갑조 도가데라 용게와지 친구 안 갑조 도가라 겨르겨르다 제가 단다디기 단다트에 티리디 트에 디스트 용거
Okay, so now what we are doing is we will be deriving these equations of motion. So more math involved in deriving these equations for the the four equations that I gave.
다 단다 ngasu 가리치기 인세나 ngasu 디 ngala ya mengasne dukore nyamsi tena mando chi special tande tenga su tsiti jayorwa ni tanda ngasu 가리치기 인세나 아니 단다게 nyamsi teta menga teta ngasu la kanaza ragre se tela tagi yins.
So these were the equations. And then let's derive these equations one by one. So I wanted to show the graph. So let's go back to the PowerPoint if possible. What I'm taking here is a velocity versus time graph. And what I'm saying at time t equals to 0, there is some initial velocity here. And then we have just seen how the velocity increases. So this is the same graph. At any time t, the velocity is v.
다 단다 디 값은 ngasu 델라 티르치 도와 티르 디 값은 ngasu 티르 가리탄 요레스나 뉴세 당 티츠기 바론 도와 템비게 티르지 요레스 디 값은 담보다 바인바나 치츠 치티 레코링비 값은 ngasu 토미기 뉴세지 요레스 VIT 요와 tene ngasu du sta bain바나 뉴세티 아니 고 칼칼레 진조 도고 요 ngasu ten 요레스 와 아니 단다 다 T 추초티 T인비 값이라 아니 타믹 velocities 나도 타믹이 뉴스나 그러다 VT 값으로서는 뉴스티 V's.
So this is the initial velocity. This is the final velocity here, which is v here at any time t. So let's derive the first equation, which is v equals to vi plus at. Now, how do I get the velocity and how do I do it? It's very simple. What is the formula for acceleration? The first one.
다 단단가 쪽에 theoretic tense 말와 theory 데라 시 샤바인바이나 아니 가솔라 theory 데라 시 샤데 데가 쪽에 냠치젠다 간자 체바인바이나 담보데라 가솔라 디 뉴런 체기 디어와 뉴런 체기 맹어시어와 냠치지어와 디가레스
Delta V divided by T.
Yes, A equals to delta V over T. Now, can I write this delta V as final velocity
Final minus V initial.
or T? But here I'm taking V, the final velocity as V. So let's just be consistent and I will just write V here. Is that okay?
로아당 쪽에 뉴런 세나 아니 뉴색인 저와티 뒤쪽 고고요로 니 단다 데라 가서 리모디 간에 타미기 뉴세티 위제 토미기 뉴세티 VI제 아니 뒤쪽 고셔나 디그런 두스트나 디그로와스.
Okay, so how can we do this? Let's multiply. What will be, can I write it like this? V minus VI, just doing the multiplication and further calculations. Can I write it like that?
두스티나 디그로에스라 강게팅 가서 오 타라진티나 디그로에스. Yes.
Okay. Can I take it on this side? And if I take VI on this side, what does it become?
당가서 VI 와 토미기 뉴세 VI 도와티 이 쇼살라파 키침바이바나 가르차그레스.
Will it come in the division or plus or minus, or it will be in division?
AT plus V initial.
Yes. VI plus AT. This is our first equation. That's a simple one.
ro tanda de ka so nga so ra ba ti nga so nyam chi tang bo ti vi final so ra ta nyurse thamate nyurse thome nyurse gang la ya ani nyunon ti ti so ge jur ti dom ba ta chong go re sa te tanda nga so ra so as.
Okay, so we have derived the first equation. Let's do the second equation, which is distance equals to v plus vi over 2 multiplied by time. Let's do that.
Ta tang bo te ju ba re sa tanda nga so ge ni ba te ta ge yin si ni ba te jang tha te ro par tha te ka chore se na pan tha te par tha te thome gi nyurse gang la ya thame nyurse gang la thome nyurse da te ni la ge ani ti ti so ge jura tang chong re la du sta nga so te ga nas le ge de ta gos.
So in our activities that we did this morning, I explained you how to calculate the area. Remember? And we had this acceleration versus time graph. And I have this. So how I can calculate the velocity from here was length and breadth, taking the area of the rectangle. I will apply the same approach here. So if I say distance is what? V into T. Right?
Tange nga su shopa ge zija stambala ya nga su ge shopa ge zigna ne ge de nyutse ta nyusme sa nyurno to tisu ge thiri ge na la ya thiri la ten de ge de nga su ge nyutse zija go yo pa na nga su ge ta ti ge yo la yo pi ro wa koran ni ge thiri de ge ola yo pi ge ja chun ti sai ba sta ge de ni ta ni ba na ni ta ni chur de nga su nyutse pe se ta yo re sta ta da ba na nga su ge ti ka su ro wa jang tha ti ka chu re se na nyutse ti 아니 뒤쪽에 줄고 요로 스탠디야 쇼파츠와 난싱게 그런 게 들을 올라 요비게 아니 자춘티스나 리기요레스.
So just remember for this thing, anything under this line is the area, and we can calculate from that area the distance.
따티 난싱게 단단가 쪽에 내려야 그 리무치도와 티리스도와 티리티게 올라 차주게 아니 자춘티스 바인바나 디 티리딩가 쪽에 뉴세다 뒤쪽에 티리로와 디 오케 자춘티스 바인바나 그 장타카소 신루멘디라그데스.
So now how to calculate the area of this weird shape? What I can do, we can be a little smart, and I can draw a line here. What geometrical shapes these are? I divided into two portions.
단디게 자신 제약이 제대로 속에 내라 파 투시 템바이마나 다 아니 단다게 그 리모데로 데고 만도 아니 차송아 디스탐블랑 아술라야 티딜라 텐데 데타 리모만도 카리카리라고도스
Sum the rectangle.
This is the rectangle, and this is the triangle. What's the area of triangle?
다 오가 속에 투시 나무신 바나 투시 나무가 자창가 레스
In math, we can also write the triangle as this instead of writing the whole thing. So what's the area of triangle?
Side by side, divide by 2.
Yes, so half into base into height. And where is the base? This is the base. This is the height. So what will be the area of triangle in this case? What is this axis? This is time. And this is velocity. Base is our time. Now, this whole thing is velocity. I just need from here to here. How can I calculate?
다 단다데 가심 바나 가속에 강게 sursuma 되게 자천 바나 sursu마게 자천테 간다 쓰자고 요래 세나로와 단다데라야 sursuma 세테 양고 쓰자 그 답디오고네 triangle 되게 잡라야 리모트 트렌드 거리 다 triangle 자천 같으래 세나 아니 그 샵데 빵라지르와 샵데 도철라지르 아니 데 체크가 당찬에 듣고래스와 나데 값이 체크한테 체크하지 나디게 샵데 같으래 세나 터치서티로와 티디리도와 아니 도세데 같으래 세나 도세데 가속에 다 ko karsana tusete v tang vi I ni paro ge patha tere do ti kanda do chi cheja gros.
So what I can do is, I know this height, full height is V as written here, and this much is VI. So I can do V minus VI. I will get this, which is here.
Ta tin stambala kanda chi gre sena nga chula raya tirwa ani gani kanza ba imbana ro lekon ni v pats bana tusete v ro ani lekon vi I parte vi I ro tin stambala vi gna ni vi I tham ba imbana ani nga chula ra ba ti vi tam vi I ni paro patha tere gres.
So what will be the, can I write it like that? I'm just expanding, opening the brackets, and then doing the math. Is that clear?
Da dus tshana di ro ke nga su ge ko ni kuta te khashi ani jusha ge ro cheka ge thila je ti ti vi la jusha go ro tin stambala cheka vi ti cha ro ani ta phajo te to te doma yo pa je ani cheka ge thila je ti ge la vi I la je na ne doma je ani cheka je ani vi I ti cha gres.
Okay, if that is clear, now what will be the total area of triangle, area of rectangle?
Na de la tuition normal sto tuition normal de ge ja shang ga res.
This area.
De ola sto ola tuition normal de ge ja shang ga res a.
Length into breadth.
Yes, length into breadth. So what is the length here?
Chute da tuition normal ge ja chen ba ne chute shin la je na go se go ro ti ka su chu ka re shin ka re sa.
L the big la jugores.
T.
Yes, T multiplied by, what is the width here?
Chute ti re do wa. Ani shin de ga re do da to se do se na. Ti re do de ka sa. Chi mas de vi.
This much is VI, right?
The Tongo Adanda Roa Nasu Ya Vita velocity Nutsegi Tikala ya, and it under Trishan Narmuti Kurangishins and a Tatomatic acceleration of VI.
Okay, is that clear to everyone?
This is which answer. Trishan Narmuga Jachin VIT, but this is which has a lenches on Roche.
Oh, chaso.
Yes, clear.
Okay, perfect. So now what will be the total area? Because we wanted the whole area, I will just add these two areas.
Then Azula Goyate Karagugo Yoresana, two dig all your big Jachin chats on Goyorwa, the Jachin Tambu on the Jachin Yadongu Yorwa.
How can you solve this? Always make sure you add or subtract the like terms. Like terms means it's the same values like VIT or VT. If there are two of them, just add or subtract them and let me know what will be the answer.
That another capsule Jachin Nisha Domshana didn't know Chagadu study capsule Candas Jagin base study. Jatan Candas Jagim, Toton Cataro reduced to Jarochi, stand didn't know with Jabi capsule, Tapsiganshinwa, the Tapsha Jushayorwa. But this Jabi capsule to Katim by Nayanko, Domiatan Tain by Tranka Kasugre. Taking on its Haptan Sugura, that Haptan is Chipa Yuchidom Guyore, Tangu Doyatan Tanchiguyore, study caps in Bana, VI tan T, Bana VI tan T, Yosatu Nyamta Diana, Yosatu Tayat and the Chibures. Kasaris tota.
Ni divided by 2 children. Okay.
Half VIT.
Oh, the-
Therefore, the V plus VIT
Zero
divided by 2.
Can I do it like this? I know VIT, these are same terms. I can write it like this. Just collecting the like terms together. 1 minus half is
Ta tanda de kapsa nga su VIT te chupare dorwa VIT te nishana na chupado tinsta balaya tigin dan lok tangka terwa ani chite chire sha sha da te cheka dogma cheka dorwa chikana na cheka thenya ga la shi sha de ta nga su thap tang te dida do chi he pa chine digro es
I'm just rearranging them. Half and t. Again, half and t is on both sides in both these terms. I can write it like this. And this total area is the distance. As we discussed before, this whole area under this line is our distance. So this is our second equation.
ta tanda nga su yang chi ta bai na rwa half cheka che VT che don ta che cheka che VIT system de kapsa nga su thamon to yoba ka re do cheka ta thi re do cheka ta thi te chlo la ta ani kutang na la ya V nga VI dom chana di rwas ani te nga su yang che ko zu chi tri bai ba na yang che chen ri chi tri bai ba na ni cheka te chlo ta rwa ani V nga la VI dom te ni chila jurba ta songores ta tampo nga su de se jaba na shen ani future de go ola yo pe jachun te ka kari songore sena ani ko ge janta katsu chila chime de songores
So is that clear?
this se ucha son esa se ucha sna cha song ze se ucha ma song ze ni choche
Most of them are confused. I
Seoul
guess.
chama so jala.
Let them
Okay.
discuss for 5 minutes.
Yes,
Seoul
yes.
chamas.
Yeah.
Let them discuss. Yeah.
So, can us nangol to do chidara? Can us group na michik chida shingi yera? And to do chida di.
Oops. So how is the discussion going? Maybe they are muted.
Yeah, look like they're still muted.
Yeah.
Still discussing.
Yes, I think because this is something, they need to know how to do the maths, like terms and unlike terms.
Yeah.
We will see how much we will cover this time. Questions.
Yes.
Now they get it?
Unmute. Yeah, I think it's fine. Like
Perfect.
most of them got. Like I can't say for everyone.
Okay.
Yeah, most of them is fine.
Whoever is still confused, maybe they can go and try to do it and mingle with the group who got the right answer, and then, you can discuss and
Yeah.
try to do it.
Da ya dando de gong la ya chi yang ma ra ya tang gu tham tin da ye pa na ya shi zu ya kar su bre. Lo ba shen da tang yam te yang tu de zhou chi ba na. Ya kar su bre. Shi ju su ro da shen da ha gu ni ge me tang yam te tu de chi ba na ya chi na ya shi zu ti chi res kar sa.
Okay, so
So cha res.
we
Yes.
have done equation 1, equation 2. Let's quickly do equation 3 before you guys go on the break.
Da da nga zu nyam si tang po nyo ni cha cha ba res. Da da an chi zu ti ga sa person ma tang ngo la ya nga zu nyam si sim ba te chi ta ge yin.
So now area of triangle we had was this. I can even write it as what is A? A is V minus VI over T. V minus VI equals to AT. I'm going to put the value of V minus VI here.
Da da nga zu ta ba in ba na tang po de la nga zu ge area of the triangle da da ge nga zu ti or wa sir sa ma ti ge ti ja chen ti la ya ane ta shap tam pan ti che ga ge jur gu go yor wa ti kap se ne nga zu ge ta pang se na to se ti ka su cha go re se na vi ge na ne vi ai thang go do wa ane nga zu ge ye ka ri yo re se na vi ai na vi ai vi na vi ai than ju ti ni chi la go sha bai ma na nga su la ya nyun ti ra go yor wa e ti ra go yor wa ti kap se nga zu ge ne chi ti su sa ta bai bai na e ti chi la jur ba ta chi la jur ba te ane vi na ne va ai tha ba ta chung go yor es ta ti kap se nga su ge vi ta vi ai gi chap la ya e ti chi la jur ba te chu bi ins.
This becomes half AT square.
Ta ti zu se jur bai bai na che ka je ne e je ne ti ni do wa ti ni na ti ga rang ju sha go wa.
So what will be the total area in this case? I'm just rearranging the math. It's nothing new, the same area, I'm just rearranging. We do that a lot in solving problems.
Ta tanda de kapsa ngi sawa yang chi ge yo ma re sta de kapsa ma na ko ja chun de yang cha nga chu ge ta cher dri chi ge yo pa te re sta de ge ja chun cha chwa ka so re se na.
So the total area now is, this is the area of triangle, and this was the area of rectangle. So total area is this, which is also equal to our distance as we discussed before.
Ta tanda ge de ka re se na nga su ge chom dong ge ja chun de ka so re se na che ka ti 80 la jur 80 square la jur ti ga de vi it don ba le do ga ta nga su ge ja chun chon dong ge ja chun ti tang gi tang po de ka re ta chung go re se na jang ta ta chung go yo wa ra wa jang ta ta chung go yo re.
So now I'm just going to rearrange it so that it looks like this equation. It's just putting this in the first here. VI half AT square. This is our third equation.
ta tanda de yang chang atsu ga standard chi chi bai bai na ro ani jang tha dt ka tu song go res na vi I te de lo kyong go wa ani te ga te le che ka ge 80 ge ran ni ju le ju ju te dom ba tan song go res
All clear?
this which has
Yes.
Perfect. Okay, so let's move on to the last equation.
ta de jiwa je ta da ga su ta nyam chi thama te ta ge yin sa nyam chi thama
So
shi ta
now
ta ge
to
yes.
derive this last equation, I'm going to use this one and this guy, first and second equation.
ta thama te ra ge che te kar chi gi se na ga su ge nyam chi tam po te ta nyam chi nyo te pe chi tang ge
We know that we just derived distance equals to v plus vi over 2 multiplied by t. Now, I also know v equals to vi plus at. What will be the value of t here?
ta nga chu ge nyam chi nyo te na ne kar ri du se na jang tha te dd v ga vi I dom te ni ge ge wa ti tri ge jwa tan song go was ye shen da sing a chu kar ha ku re se na tang po te ge na la ya v ti vi ga la at ju chi dom ba tan song go was ta dan da ge nyam chi ni ba de yo ra nyam chi o la tri sha ju de la shi sha ba bai na o la tri sha ju nyam chi tang po se go de v ti vi ga la at dom ba tan song re se gu ne ti ge shi sha ba na ane chi de ga so yin sa res
Can anyone tell me from this equation, what will be the value of t?
then yam sin de shi sha bai na do la tri sha do v is equal to vi plus at la do ti shi sha bai na tri ka so res
Should I do it or?
V minus Vi divided by A.
Yes. So I can also write v minus vi just one by one, and t equals to v minus vi over.
then also yang chi sta
Right?
bai na ka re se na at ti pha ki v de cha kyong bai na at is equal to at te kang ke to song la v non vi them ba song go res ni at pha sa la tong ba na go go wa ani t te ga la na v non vi them ti ela go ba to song go res
So now I'm going to substitute this value of t in here in equation 1.
la ta na nga su ge t la ya ko ge thap tong sa cha re so ti nga su ge nyam chi tang po de ge nang ge t ge chap la chi kin
Like this. Let's do the math.
da da de ka sang cha chi ja ge
Do you know how to multiply these two terms?
de kana do chi ja ge me ha ku yes ta ko ti ge ni do wa o ten che jur gu yo ra chi tang ha ku yes
Probably no.
Hakumi. They are saying
we
no.
don't know.
You don't know? Okay. There are many ways to do it. You can just, do this term multiplied by this term multiplied by the second term, and so on. But can I write it like this? 2a, I just take it out, and then v plus vi multiplied by v minus vi. Is this the same?
Tang ye ke te ro ni tang 2h to ni te l ju sha ju te chlo la dos ten ro 1 by 2h le ro chi te ni e go chu tan ton ni shen da te v gang la v I dom ju te tang v gang la v non v I than ju te ju ri ge number la dos tina degree ways gang te to og te chi chon ro ways yes
Perfect. So there is a formula a plus b multiplied by a minus b equals to a square minus b square. This is the formula. We are going to use the same here.
당아서 마이가 센다 지거레스 마이가 센다 지거레스네 A 간라 B 돔 티 A 나니 B 텐주가 줄바이나 토프랑 가서레스네 A 게 런지ton네 B 게 런지ton 탱기 요파 총고요레스 단데 맹가디 간데랑아 수게 데 페셔당기스
Let's do that. A is V here, B is VI. So don't get confused with this acceleration. So can I write it like that?
다 단당아 수 VT A 바체 VI 티 B B 원타 샤나가 서 라야티 아니 지티 주 A 그 아니 VI V 런지ton네 VI 런지ton 템바티 투 스테이션에 디그로이스 Yes.
So now let's do this. Can I take this on this side? So it becomes from division to multiplication.
2a equal to v square minus
다 단당아 수 2A 티 A 쇼살라 요파티 고고 요로와 티 연 쇼살라 바 탕바이나 파조텔라 주고 요로와
I'm just arranging it because I want this on the left side. So this is the same. I'm just rearranging them.
단다 가수 2A 티 VI V 런지노 VI 런지 템바도 총고 요레세 티 가수 스탠드 지티 바이나 아니 이때 파조자 이 쇼탄 연 쇼제 주자 셔바레지 조탄 요마 티 V 런지노 VI 런지 템바티 2A 티 총고 요레스
Now I'm going to take this term on this side. So from minus, it will become plus.
단딜라야 VI 그런지 지도와 정가땡아 주고 파조살라 키기인스 파조살라 키바인바네 VI 티 저적산이 동마르도 파조살라 키바인바네 VI 런지 티 아니 미마 샤그데스 아니 덥던디 단데딜라기데스
So this is our fourth equation here.
다팅아 줄라 유튜브에 냠지 시바데레스
So this is one method to derive this equation. There is a complex method, which is calculus using integration and stuff. So I didn't teach you that, but you know how to calculate in one way.
다 단다이데가 수가 냠지 시데가 수가 저땅게 다다데고 간에 저땅게 저땅시리스 다 현대에 만나가 수가 양고 차츠베시다가 됐다 세안티다 요레스
I think now we go for break.
Yes.